because I want to, that was just, I want to get that done before we had this conversation because I don't want to change and impact your answers with what we're going to go through now. And I need to flip over and share my screen because today we're going to talk about relationships, boys and girls. Share screen. Here we go. Alrighty, so I can't see you guys anymore. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Balance. All right, boys and girls, the balance and the build and balance of relationships. Can you see me? You can't see me anymore, huh? My camera's still on, so you probably can see me. But
I can see you.
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay, good. So I won't do anything stupid. I thought like I can't see you. I want to see my screen, and I'm like, oh, you know, when you can't see people, it's like you can't see you. So, I mean, that's the whole premise of Peekaboo.
It's all right if you want to stop and do push-ups.
Hold it. Now you can't see me. Now you can see me.
You
Now you
can.
can't see me. Now you can't see me. That's the whole premise.
Peekaboo.
So, boys and girls. Let's talk about boys and girls. Start with the boys. Boys. What are things that we relate to with boys? Boys are movement. They're that symbol for man, boy, is Mars. I've also placed that symbol to the left because boys are left brain. Men, masculine is usually left brain, which is usually, unfortunately, the left brain is the analytical brain, which is a scientific brain, which break things down into details.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that we'll say about the boys are blue. Now, what you won't recognize because it's not so obvious is that the blue, we know blue is always left. And blue is boys is left because of the L in blue, whereas red is right because of the R in red. So these are the things that we know about boys. They do science. And what happens to boys? Where do they get? Boys get stuck because they get stuck in the details as opposed to trying to figure out the bigger pictures. Girls are grounded. It's right there. Even the symbol for female, for feminine, is grounded.
It's ground. Yep.
It's also Venus. It's also right and red. So here's one thing. Think of it like this. Boys are blue like police, right? Police, blue, fear. Girls are red like firemen. Firemen, we love. See the opposites there? Opposites of fear and love. So red is aligned with love, which is oftentimes Valentine and often, pink and flowers and all of those things. Whereas blue oftentimes is aligned with what we consider to be fear. Also, red is, let's skip and go down further with this one. Red is also right side, which is also right brain, which is also more emotional. Also big picture, art. And here's where feminine energy gets stuck. Feminine energy gets stuck on the vision that they've been given. And that's given usually by us. So if you think about a relationship, how do I get in a relationship with the woman I'm in a relationship with? I have to show her a vision of a future that she can buy into and believe in, and she wants to sign up and then support that vision. And then she will dedicate her love into helping support that vision. Now, where do we come together? So again, we got it. Both of these things are the symbols for what we consider man and female, masculine and feminine. Today we're using them for energy because what I understand is that though we give you an assignment at birth, if you have a penis, you become a boy. If you have a vagina, you become a girl. What we have realized over time is that our gender is more than just what you have in your pants. Or let's say our gender or our sex is more than just what you have in your pants, because it is what you have in your pants. It is what you'd like to rub that on. There's some boys who have penises who like to rub their penises on penises. There's some masculine energy women who have vaginas, they're women, so have vaginas, but they like to rub their vaginas on penises. So because one is one, there are three levels. There's what you have, what you want to rub it on, and how you carry yourself. Now, by carriage, I mean, and it's really tough to describe the carriage, though we see it all the time. You see, here, let's use Eric Garcetti. He speaks very proper and very clear. He uses a high tone, and he comes across as more feminine energy man. He even speaks of love and caring. I don't know if you guys get to see his press conferences. Then you look at Gavin Newsom. He's gruff, he's direct, he speaks in short staccato speech, and he gives you point, and he speaks way more masculine energy. So you can see that the energy does not dictate what you become in life. It does not hold you back. It just lets you know where you are so you can understand yourself better. And so if you are feminine energy as a man, you are grounded. You are more right brained. You are probably more creative. As we see a lot of feminine acting men are more creative. They work in creative areas and creative fields. And masculine acting women work in more analytical fields and more masculine fields. So we see this all the time and we have to recognize it. All the way down to if we look at the symbols, even the symbol of the masculine energy is in motion. And as we learned as small children, and when we first learned to read, we learned that Jack is doing something. See Jack run. And then we look at the symbol for feminine energy, and feminine energy is planted. See Jane, isn't she pretty? So masculine energy does, feminine energy is. And just so we are clear, is the highest level because remember, we are human beings. So the verb is our goal is to actually just to be able to be. And so that is what feminine energy does. It is rested and it is being what we're doing as masculine energy. I'll speak for me because I know I'm more masculine energy. Now, here's the other side of this. Both of these sides are within us also. We might recognize our masculine energy and our feminine energy. Those who are more masculine energy have some traits that are more feminine. My feminine traits are I love to cook. I love to dance. I'm a very good dancer. And so those are the kind of things that are more feminine. And then some other, my wife, she's got some masculine traits. She drives like a beast. And so that's more masculine. And so you see some of these things. I've got a book. I've actually recorded a book of all these different traits that I've like observed of what's more masculine, what's more feminine, as you, it's down to where you stop when you stop at a red light. Like if you'll notice, masculine energy people will run the stop line. The nose will be either over the stop line or wheels are on the stop line. Feminine energy obeys more laws, stays behind the line, stops behind the line. Like this level of observation is literally what I've been doing for the last 5 years. Now, remember, they're both within each of us, though. And they're also representative of the brain that we have, right? We have a left brain that is analytical, masculine, and it is doing things. And we have a right brain that is creative. We have a left brain that looks at the details, and a right brain that has the capabilities of looking at the big picture. So though we look at this as what's outside of us, it's also what's inside of us. And as I said before, as above, so below. On every level, you'll see it. It's inside of us, it is us, and it's also Mars and Venus. So it's all the way out to the planets. So if you look at the alignment that we have, along with the universe that we live in, you'll find that it's all perfect. So these two actually mean something, at least to me. That movement, that's us, at least the masculine energy side, seeking purpose. That is what we are born for, to find our way in this life, to see why what way we were here born to change this world. Whereas if we look at the other side, feminine energy is rooted in love. It is planted, grounded, and there. It is where it is supposed to be. And so therefore, everything that comes from it is of love. And we have to acknowledge that. What stops the dudes? That is it. Masculine energy The kryptonite to masculine energy is fear. It is what is inside of us that keeps us from being able to seek our purpose, oftentimes based on the distractions from the outside world. As I talked earlier, those things that put you in a survivor mindset will also put you in fear and keep you from being able to seek your purpose. Even in seeking our purpose, we're afraid to take the first step. There's one antidote to that. To overcome fear is love. Love knows no fear. All of us, we all was young enough to hang out at bars, to see that, 4'11", cute little woman standing at the bar with her finger wagging in the face of that 6'5" guy as if she could just knock him out. And he's thinking, wow, I could crush you. And you're not even afraid. You ain't even thinking about being afraid because she's of love and she doesn't live in the world of fear. That's our analytical brain that keeps us in fear. They both serve a purpose. Love keeps us going forward as a generationally, and fear protects us. And so they're not like they don't exist for a reason, but there is reason for these two. But fear keeps us from attaining our purpose. It's the thing that stops us. We've all seen it in trying to move from where we are to where we're trying to get to. And we understand and we know that in those situations, say, for example, if you're going for a job interview and your woman says, gives you a big hug and a kiss and say, oh, baby, you're going to crush it. I can't wait. You were perfect for this job. You will walk in there with your head so high, your back so straight, so confident, because that love will have erased and eradicated the fear and allowed you to overcome the fear in order to attain the purpose that you're going after. That's what we're here for. Now, we owe them something for that, though, because we have them, that energy pack, as I'll call them, that battery. My wife is my battery. She is the love that is behind me, that is enabling me to overcome all obstacles, to be able to be successful in anything I want to do, because I know she believes in me and she loves me. And just having that level of support, oftentimes is all a man needs to get over the hump, but we don't use it right? Here's what happened to us. Most of us are close enough to the same age. Oh, you know what? Let me stop in case I got Kalani. I mean, somebody's waiting to get in because I can't see the screen. Give me 1 second. I knew it. I felt it. Julius is coming in. Julius.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up, man?
Afternoon. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm sorry. I don't know how long I left you waiting. We were sharing the screen and going through the presentation. So we were at the point where we're talking about the difference between Mars and Venus, or left and right, or masculine and feminine energy, which is what's on the screen here. And that difference is what we're here for. And that seeking purpose is what our masculine energy is here for. And rooting in love is what that feminine energy is. Masculine energy does, feminine energy is. What we were growing up in last few generations, was in this belief of equality, hence the equal sign. And that, I know for me, that threw me off. I grew up in a family with just two brothers, my mom, dad, and two brothers. So I didn't have any sisters. I didn't grow up with girls in the house. I didn't know how different they were. And then once it came time to interacting with girls, I was really good at it, but not because I really understood them from their perspective, but because I understood the game from my perspective. So with this group, with this understanding of why us guys are here and why we need women. Hey, let's take it back to even when we're kids, when we first start school. Think about when you first started school, say, for example, kindergarten. And you could tell the difference even in the kids with a boy masculine energy, where they had to sit down, be quiet. You're not paying attention. You're trying to do things as opposed to do what you're told. And what they're trying to do is control you in that situation, right? The kindergarten teacher is trying to teach you obedience and to basically control you so you aren't doing your trial and error to seek the purpose that we're born to do. And see how girls seem to do way better, or feminine energy does way better at those lower grades, because they are obedient. They sit there, they're quiet, they're being, and they're better students because they're in their element. They just have to sit there and engage with people and they're happy. So anyway, we believed that they were equal because we were living in a society that was talked about equality as we were growing up. But what we learned over time, and what I learned through lots of observation, is that hardly, we're not even equal. We're not even the same thing. Matter of fact, what I tell guys now is I don't even look at my woman, as a woman, as a woman, a man with a woman. I'll look at my woman as more like a fairy or a leprechaun or a butterfly or something completely different species. Because as I do, I won't think of her the same way I think of guys, because that's where our problems come in. Our problems come in. We talk to and think of women as equals, as the same, when they're not the equal. As a matter of fact, that up there, which is the equal circle, that thing right there is not even her. That's not even her. That is what we call the projection of her. That's her down there. She's truly rooted. She is in love. Her projection is just so she can be seen. And if you don't believe me, pay attention to your woman. See what they do to be seen. The things that they do that don't make sense to us, right? Makeup, all the stuff they do to their hair, like these vibrant colored clothes and all this, always different clothes and always got to look different. That literally has a purpose in their life because they understand that they are loved. And if they're not properly seen, they cease to exist. I'll use my mother, for example. My mom just turned this year 78. For the last, I'd say 30 years, she hadn't been seen. She's disappeared. She's primarily wears a frumpy house coat, cut all her hair off, doesn't do a whole lot to engage and interact with the opposite sex because she is of love still. She's got grandchildren and all that. A lot of women do this, right? They start to disappear to us men because one, they're not being seen, and so they go into who they really are and go back to their purpose, which is love. So it is our job as men. We have things to do in order to take care of the women in our lives who are taking care of us by helping us overcome the fear that's keeping us from being able to attain our purpose. That is, since she does all that work to be seen, the first thing we have to do is see her. If you don't see her, she will disappear, or someone else will, which is probably Morris, right? The second thing, which is the thing that seems like most guys know already, is the second thing is to love her. And I say love her because she is of love. And if she is of love, we had better address that. If we don't see her, see her like, say, she changes something, recognize she changed her nail polish, recognize she changed her hairstyle, recognize, she put on a decent dress. When she walks in a room coming in from the outdoors, look at her. Don't put your head down, like, hey, babe. Look at her. She needs to be seen. And I'm serious. I know it sounds very trivial, but she literally needs to be seen. And you also have to love her because she's of love and she'll recognize when she's not being loved. And I know all of us have seen that before. Thing we know is protect her. And this is what a lot of guys are very good at because they understand that we're bigger, we're stronger, we protect them if, we're the masculine energy. Although you do see that in opposite relationships where you have a masculine energy woman and a feminine energy guy, that a lot of times she's protecting him. And it does work that way. The same principles apply. Doesn't matter if you have a penis and you're a man with a woman, blah, 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 you know what I mean? The fourth thing, and this is where most guys fail, and that is leading her. And I say we fail is because we can't lead her if we have not sought and are not finding our own purpose. We don't know where to lead her. So what you'll see happen in many relationships is a guy sells a woman a dream. Hey, here's the vision I see for us for a future. We could be together. It'll be amazing. I'm going to love you and it's going to be great. And we're going to do all these great things. And then the life happens together and time goes by and that vision doesn't come to fruition. And the reason the vision doesn't come to fruition because the guy's happy because he's married, he's got his wife. Now, what you'll see happen is over time, if you don't start to show direction, purpose, you will get direction and purpose from your feminine energy partner. And that will come in the form of a honey-do list. Because basically what that says is, I am giving you all my love. And I give you my love in order to protect you and to help you overcome all the fears that'll help you attain your purpose. And if you don't use my love for that, then I will have to give you a purpose. And it's going to be a list of clean the garage, do this, do that. So if we're sitting around watching TV, watching the game, and never ever creating the vision that she actually bought into when we first got him, then we're losing them slowly. A brick at a time is going up. A wall is going up between us, a brick at a time. And the fifth thing is we must learn to help our feminine energy partners shine. They have got to be, here's what you see, right? Guys out at the bar, hanging out with their friends, girls texting, they're like, hey, you gotta go. Yeah, man, my girl, man, she always bugging me. She's such a blah, blah, blah. You bring it, denigrate. That is your battery. That is the thing that helps you overcome all fear and achieve all the purpose that you're trying to do in this world. And you're denigrating it. And so the reason I want to share all these things is because I see so much of guys not understanding that this world is for them. It's really easy when you know where the pieces fit. And this is the second pillar in the foundation of the 3 pillars that we talked about last week. Remember, those pillars were mindset, which is creator versus survivor mind, relationships, and all this that we just discovered right now, and how to best use these things and balance them out so we can get the most out of our relationships in order to have a very productive relationship in life because of that. And then the last thing is purpose. And what we're going to talk about next week, how to find your purpose, what's keeping you from your purpose, what it feels like when you're in your purpose. And then we should, with those 3 pillars, be able to have a foundation of discussion, whereas we can start to achieve all the things that we want to achieve in life. So hopefully this has been somewhat helpful. I know it's a bit fragmented. Again, like I said last week, this is only the second time I really tried to present this kind of stuff. Usually it's a discussion one-on-one in a coaching scenario, but I tried to put it together in a way I can share it. And hopefully we did something that's somewhat helpful. So what I'm gonna do now is go back, unshare my screen, and get to some discussion, I hope.